This is the TxT and this is the 10th entry in the TxTs Treasury Devlog. Of course, such a milestone is a great opportunity to take a look into the future. But before we can travel there, I need to tell you what has changed in version 0.9. The main changes all revolve around the usability of tags. I love tags as they make it super easy to categorize transactions. But actually tagging transactions takes most of the time when adding new ones. The first thing I then did was to enable deletion of tags. I had kind of a déjà vu moment when I was doing it, because I thought I had implemented that ages ago and removed it for some reason. Turns out the reason was that my custom multi-select element absolutely didn't like it when text got deleted. After trying to understand my own code for a few minutes, I quickly found the issue and was able to fix it. After that was done, I also added alphabetic sorting to the tags. Then there was only one thing left to improve: a search box. I also worked a bit on the width of table columns. It's not perfect, but now I have a system to easily tweak the width of different kinds of columns. This should also improve performance of big tables a bit, as your browser now knows the width of the table columns without having to check the table contents. Actually, I almost forgot something that I promised last time: color charts. This is now based on a predetermined color palette that looks pretty decent, if I say so myself. I also fixed a couple of bugs. First up, the nav bar didn't like to stay in place when scrolling. Now I found my box of nails and secured that sucker nice and tight. The second bug would actually be a security vulnerability, I guess. The backend used to write the entire config into the log on startup, which isn't ideal. Now I replaced that with more meaningful messages. Some new bugs got also introduced, so I fixed them in a small follow-up version. Now that we have all of that out of the way, we can finally take a look into the crystal ball. In it, I can already see the next version, 0.10. It might be the biggest release yet, as it adds an entirely new tool: assets. Sure, tracking transactions is nice and all, but to get a more complete picture of your financial situation, you also need to take your assets into account. With asset tracking, you should be able to track all different kinds of assets, from tangible ones like houses and cars to intangible stocks. As an investor in the stock market myself, I hope that I can build in some basic tools to monitor the success of my investments. 0.10 also sounds like a nice milestone that deserves some project basics like a website and some documentation. For that, I already started working on a website using the Next 3 release candidate. There will also be some text and video installation instructions and some explanations of the important features. Once that's done, I can start telling more people about TxTs Treasury on places like Reddit. In short, things are starting to heat up. I hope to have executed this plan by the end of the year. Well then, get subscribed so you don't miss that. Have a great time and see you all soon.